You really think a detective is really going to have your back after all the cyber stalking and everything you've been doing? And you're stupid enough to actually put it on video on a social media site while you're doing it? You know, when you leak somebody's information out without their consent and you hand it to somebody else, you know that's against the law, right? And you can get in trouble for that shit. And you're talking about you already got a detective seeing this? The detective's not going to do nothing about what I said. And I wish you would try to dox me because you're not going to know where I stay. And you're not going to know what address I stay at. Because my name is, yeah. You're probably not going to know what my name is either. Even if you did, you would think my name is a lie. Your address is tagged because you're on the government official's radar for what you've been doing. And the fact that you have a felony of cyber stalking. And you're continually to dox people's address and sharing people's address on a social media platform without their consent. That's why your address is flagged, bruh. Oh, now you're claiming to be a woman? Well, damn, that's a first. I mean, shoot, I thought you was a male this whole time. I thought you were a male named Heather. I didn't know you were a female. That's crazy. Your criminal record's not dropped when it's still pulled up from the background I pulled up and seen. Oh, another thing about that, the fact that you admit that you own a handgun that you bought last month while you have a criminal background, when people who have criminal backgrounds are not allowed to have firearms. You're so stupid. You can prove whatever you want to prove, but everything's going to lead to the videos, the doxing, the cyber stalking, everything that you've been doing as well. And it's going to add up to why other people has been doing what they're doing to you. Because you've been cyber stalking. You've been doing more than cyber stalking. You've been doing things that are actually considered felonies. What I'm saying is the things you've recently been doing can be added as felony charges. Not what you did in the past. I'm talking about what you have been recently doing. Just recently can be considered felony charges. There's different types of felony charges. There's less harsh felony charges and there's harsher felony charges. There's not just one felony charge that's harsh. There's different variations of felony charges. How are you part of law enforcement, or was part of law enforcement, before you start becoming an alcoholic and having to go to rehab for cocaine and being an alcoholic? Not know there's different felony charges, different levels of it.
Dude, Google is fucking free. If I have the education to watch videos differently than you, and then go on Google with the information that I get from them, that's not doxing. I was even told today when the detective came to see me saying that they tried to make a 911 phone call on the address I used to be at to try to get me swatted. He came here and saw me. And I said, what the fuck for? They tried to say that they saw me on a live last night on Facebook waving a gun around. So the detective is a lifelong family friend, okay? He self-assigned himself to this case. Because when I came here, I was coming to a place where I'd be safe. So you can flex all you want. My address is flagged. I have extra patrols throughout the day. You all just pissed off a lot of my fucking neighbors. And I'm letting all of them know what the reason is for all this shit. The detective has seen all the videos. He's actually following all of their accounts and they don't know it. He's following me. He's following several of us. Because he wants to see what's going on. And you just don't fucking see it. You're drinking the Kool-Aid. You're in a cult. Get your fucking self out. Oh, dude. Really? I've never used cocaine in my life. And I'm not an alcoholic. Yes, I do drink for relaxation, like most of us have during the last 2 years of this fucking pandemic. But I also quit for weeks and months at a time because I just don't feel the urge. You see, I also have a Bachelor of Science degree in criminal justice. I grew up in a law enforcement home. I do indeed know the fucking law. So don't try to school me on the law. But honey, if you won't free yourself from this cult, then you can go down with the cult. It's that fucking simple. I had COVID in the beginning. I had a fucking stroke. People always want to mischaracterize my slurred words for me being drunk or having drank. It's not always the fucking case. Do you understand what happens with COVID? I've already had 20 abdominal surgeries and a fucking heart attack, and I have a right coronary artery stent. But you want to fuck with me, right? Go away, child.
My uncle is a detective. You are not allowed to take on a job of somebody who is a family friend or a family member as a detective. That detective can lose their job. Forgot the word or what it's called, but it shows favoritism. And if they need to check, and if that detective needs to watch what you're doing, then they can show favoritism towards you and not really watch or pay attention to what you're doing just in case you're doing something wrong or the other person's doing something wrong. Or say like they're trying to watch you just in case you're doing something wrong and they don't look at the things or what you're doing. They look over the things that they need to look at while they're looking more at what the other person's looking at that they're investigating. That detective can lose their job and you're stupid for admitting that.